Hello again, my dear friends. I'm very glad you are here with me today. My name is Sarah, and together we will explore another part of daily life in English. Today, our topic is shopping for groceries. Grocery shopping is something almost everyone does, but behind this simple activity there are many steps, habits, and small routines that make it special. When we shop for groceries, we are not only buying food, we are also making choices for our health, for our family, and for the way we live each week. From planning meals, to walking through the aisles, to carrying bags home, each step has meaning. In this lesson, I will take you on a journey through the complete process of grocery shopping, step by step, as if you were walking beside me. We will divide this journey into 4 episodes. In the first episode, I will describe the preparation at home before leaving for the supermarket. In the second episode, we will explore the experience of walking through the supermarket, looking at different sections, and choosing items carefully. In the third episode, we will focus on paying for groceries and carrying them home. Finally, in the fourth episode, we will talk about unpacking, organizing, and reflecting on the shopping experience. So, take a deep breath, sit comfortably, and get ready. Let us begin with Episode 1, Preparing for Grocery Shopping. Episode 1, Preparing for Grocery Shopping. The story of grocery shopping always begins at home. Before stepping out into the busy streets or entering the bright lights of a supermarket, there is a quiet moment of preparation. This preparation may seem simple, but it is the foundation of a successful shopping trip. When I wake up in the morning and decide that today is shopping day, the first thing I do is walk to the kitchen. I open the refrigerator door slowly. The cool air touches my face, and I carefully look inside. On the top shelf, I see a half-full carton of milk. On the second shelf, there are some apples, but they are almost finished. The eggs are gone, and the butter is low. Immediately, I take a small notebook and write, milk, eggs, butter, apples. After the fridge, I check the cupboards. I open the door and see bags of rice and pasta stacked neatly. There is still enough rice for the week, but the pasta bag is almost empty. I add pasta to my list. I check the sugar jar, it is nearly empty. I write sugar. The tea box has only 2 bags left. I write tea. Looking carefully at each item helps me understand exactly what is missing. Making a shopping list is one of the most important habits I have. Without a list, it is very easy to forget something essential or to buy things I don't really need. The list is like a map, it guides me in the supermarket and saves time. After checking the cupboards, I think about meals for the coming week. For breakfast, we usually eat bread with cheese or eggs, and sometimes fruit. For lunch, we often prepare rice with vegetables, or pasta with tomato sauce. For dinner, sometimes soup, sometimes sandwiches. Planning meals helps me organize my shopping. If I want to make vegetable soup, I write carrots, potatoes, onions. If I plan to bake bread, I add flour and yeast. Every meal idea creates new words on the list. Once the list is ready, I sit for a moment and review it. The notebook now shows bread, milk, eggs, butter, apples, pasta, sugar, tea, carrots, potatoes, onions, flour, yeast. Reading the list aloud makes me feel calm and ready. The next step is checking my wallet. I make sure I have enough cash and also my bank card. Sometimes small markets prefer cash, while supermarkets accept cards. I also prepare some coins for small payments. Having money ready avoids stress later. I then prepare my shopping bags. Instead of using plastic bags, I carry 2 or 3 reusable cloth bags. They are strong, comfortable, and good for the environment. I fold them neatly and put them into my backpack. Sometimes I also carry a small trolley bag if I plan to buy many heavy items. I check the time. I prefer to go shopping in the morning because the supermarket is quiet, the air is fresh, and the lines are short. Shopping in the evening is often crowded, noisy, and stressful. Choosing the right time makes the experience easier and more pleasant. Before leaving, I look at my list one more time. I imagine myself walking through the supermarket, first the fruit section, then the dairy shelves, then the bakery corner. Visualization prepares my mind. It feels almost like a rehearsal before the real shopping. Finally, I get dressed in comfortable clothes and shoes. Grocery shopping means walking, bending, and carrying, so comfort is important. I tie my shoes firmly, take my backpack, and put my wallet and list inside. When I open the door and step outside, the day feels fresh. The streets are waking up. Some people are going to work, others are buying bread from the bakery, and children are walking to school. I walk calmly, feeling organized and ready. Grocery shopping is not just about buying food, it is about preparing for health, meals, and family care. This is the beginning of the shopping journey. With the list, the bags, and the plan, I feel confident. The supermarket awaits, full of colors, sounds, and choices. And I am ready to step inside. Episode 2: Walking Through the Supermarket. When I arrive at the supermarket, the automatic glass doors slide open with a soft sound. A gentle wave of cool air greets me, and I step inside. The first impression is always bright lights, colorful displays, and the quiet background music that plays softly. I take a shopping cart and place my list in the front basket. Holding the cart makes me feel steady and ready for the journey through the aisles. The supermarket is like a small world. Every section has its own colors, smells, and sounds. I usually begin with the fresh produce section. Here, the air smells of fruit and vegetables. The apples shine red, the bananas are yellow and curved neatly in bunches, the grapes sit in small boxes, and the oranges glow like little suns. I pick up an apple and feel its smooth skin. I choose 6 apples, placing them carefully into a reusable bag. I also pick up some bananas for breakfast and a few oranges for juice. Each fruit I select makes me imagine the meals I will prepare later in the week. After fruit, I move to the vegetable corner. The shelves are full of green and earthy colors. There are bright carrots, round potatoes, fresh onions, and shiny cucumbers. I select some carrots for soup, a bag of potatoes for cooking, and onions for flavor. I add them to my cart, feeling satisfied. Vegetables are not just food, they are the base of healthy living. Next, I visit the dairy section. This part of the supermarket is cool and smells fresh. Rows of milk cartons stand in neat lines, bottles of yogurt are stacked together, and packs of cheese sit behind glass doors. I take 1 carton of milk, a pack of butter, and some cheese for sandwiches. I also pick up a box of eggs. Each item is carefully checked for the expiration date. Checking the date is a habit I never forget, because fresh products taste better and last longer. From there, I push my cart to the bakery corner. The smell of freshly baked bread is warm and inviting. Loaves of bread, soft rolls, and sweet pastries are displayed beautifully. I choose one loaf of whole grain bread for breakfast and some small rolls for snacks. The warmth of the bread feels comforting, reminding me of mornings at home. Then, I head to the dry goods aisle. Here, shelves are filled with rice, pasta, flour, sugar, and cooking oil. I find a bag of pasta and place it in the cart. I take a small sack of flour for baking bread, a pack of sugar, and a bottle of cooking oil. Each product sits in colorful packages, making the aisle look like a rainbow of everyday essentials. After that, I visit the beverages section. I find tea and coffee on the shelves. I choose a box of tea bags and also a small pack of coffee. Tea is for mornings with family, and coffee is for quiet moments of focus. Drinks are more than taste, they create memories and moods. The supermarket also has a snacks section. Bright bags of chips, biscuits, and chocolates call out to shoppers. I walk slowly, reminding myself not to buy too much. I pick a small pack of biscuits to enjoy with tea. Snacks are tempting, but balance is important. Walking through the aisles, I notice other shoppers too. A mother is teaching her child how to choose fresh tomatoes. An old man is comparing two brands of rice. A young couple is laughing while picking cereal. Shopping is not only about food, it is also about human connection, small moments of life shared in the same space. As I continue, I hear the announcements from the speakers. Fresh bread is now available in the bakery section or special discount on apples today. The voice is clear and polite, reminding shoppers of offers. Sometimes I follow the advice and pick something new. Once my cart is almost full, I stop for a moment. I check my list again: bread, milk, eggs, butter, apples, pasta, sugar, tea, carrots, potatoes, onions, flour, yeast. I smile because most items are already in the cart. The list keeps me on track, making shopping efficient and calm. Before finishing, I walk to the frozen section. The air is cold, and the glass doors reveal pizzas, vegetables, and ice cream. I take one pack of frozen peas to keep for quick meals. Frozen food is not always necessary, but sometimes it is helpful when days are busy. With the cart now full, I take a slow walk toward the checkout counters. The journey through the supermarket is like an adventure: colorful fruits, fresh vegetables, the smell of bread, the quiet rhythm of selecting and moving. Each section adds a piece to the story of the day's shopping. I feel satisfied. I have chosen healthy food, fresh items, and everything we need for meals at home. My cart is not too full and not too empty, just right for the week. As I approach the checkout line, I prepare my wallet and reusable bags, ready for the next step. The supermarket experience is complete when the cart is full, but the journey is not over yet. The next step is paying for the groceries, packing them carefully, and thinking about how to carry them home. That part has its own lessons and routines. And so, with my list complete and my cart ready, I move forward with confidence, stepping into Episode 3, Paying and Carrying the Groceries. Episode 3, Paying and Carrying the Groceries. When my shopping cart is full and my list is complete, it is time to move toward the checkout counters. This moment may look simple, just paying for groceries, but in reality, it is full of small details, habits, and choices that shape the shopping experience. I roll my cart gently to the line. Some checkout counters are busy, with long lines of shoppers waiting patiently. I choose a line that looks shorter, but still I know it will take a few minutes. While waiting, I take out my wallet and my reusable bags. Preparing early saves time and keeps me calm. Standing in line, I sometimes look around. On the shelves near the checkout, there are small items, chewing gum, candies, batteries, and magazines. These are called impulse items because they are easy to pick up at the last moment. I remind myself to stay focused on my list. Buying unnecessary things is easy here, but I prefer to be disciplined. When it is my turn, I greet the cashier with a smile. A simple hello makes the interaction friendly. The cashier begins scanning the items one by one. Each beep of the scanner is like a rhythm: apples, beep, bread, beep, milk, beep. The items move along the belt, and I place them into my reusable bags carefully. Heavy items go first at the bottom: oil, flour, and potatoes. Lighter items like bread and fruit go on top. Organizing the bags is important. It prevents food from being crushed and makes carrying easier later. Sometimes, the cashier asks if I want a receipt. I always say yes. The receipt is proof of what I bought and how much I spent. At home, I can check it against my list and my budget. Receipts also help me see patterns in my shopping. For example, if I notice I buy too many snacks, I can make a plan to reduce them next time. After scanning everything, the cashier tells me the total price. I pay either with cash or with my bank card. If I pay with cash, I wait for the change and count it quickly to be sure. If I pay with card, I enter my PIN carefully and wait for confirmation. Paying calmly avoids mistakes. With the bags now full, I thank the cashier politely. A small thank you creates respect and makes the experience pleasant for both sides. Shopping is not only about products, it is also about people, and kindness always matters. Now comes the physical part: carrying the groceries. I lift the bags carefully, making sure they are not too heavy for one hand. If they are heavy, I balance them between both hands or put some inside my backpack. Good posture is important. Carrying groceries the wrong way can hurt the back or shoulders. Walking out of the supermarket, I feel the fresh air again. The doors close behind me, and the busy outside world greets me. The weight of the bags reminds me of the choices I made: apples, bread, milk, oil, tea. Each bag carries not only food but also the effort of preparation and selection. On the way home, I sometimes take small pauses. If the bags are heavy, I stop for a moment on a bench or a quiet corner. Resting for a minute makes the walk easier. Grocery shopping is not a race, it is a steady process. As I walk, I notice the world around me. Children are playing, people are walking quickly to work, bicycles are passing, and the sound of life continues. Carrying groceries connects me with this daily rhythm. Everyone is busy with their own routines, yet all routines are similar in their importance. Sometimes, I meet a neighbor on the street. We exchange greetings, and they ask, "Did you go shopping?" I smile and show the bags. Small conversations like this bring warmth and community to ordinary days. If the shop is far, I may use a bus or taxi. In that case, I make sure to keep the bags secure, so they don't fall or spill. Public transport with groceries is a common scene in city life, and it teaches patience and awareness of others. When I finally reach home, I feel a mixture of relief and satisfaction. The hard part at choosing, paying, and carrying is complete. But the journey of shopping is not finished yet. The bags must be unpacked, the food organized, and everything put into its proper place. That is the last, but very important, part of the story. So, with my arms a little tired but my heart content, I step inside my home, ready to begin the final chapter of this grocery shopping adventure. Episode 4, Organizing and Reflecting at Home. Episode 4, Organizing and Reflecting at Home. When I return home with the grocery bags, the journey is not truly finished. The bags may look full and heavy, but they still need to be unpacked and organized. This step is as important as the shopping itself, because it prepares the food for daily use and keeps everything fresh. I open the door, put the bags on the kitchen table, and take a deep breath. My arms feel a little tired, but my mind feels satisfied. Slowly, I begin removing the items from the bags, one by one. First, I place the cold items in the refrigerator. The milk goes to the top shelf, the butter to the small side compartment, and the cheese in its own section. The eggs find their place in the egg tray. I check carefully to make sure nothing is broken. Keeping dairy products cold is very important to keep them fresh. Next, I store the fruits and vegetables. Apples, oranges, and bananas go into the fruit basket, where they can be easily seen and enjoyed. Carrots, potatoes, and onions go into separate baskets under the counter. I separate them carefully, because some vegetables should not be stored together. For example, onions and potatoes last longer if they are kept apart. After fruits and vegetables, I move to the dry goods. I place the sugar in its jar, refill the tea box, and put the pasta and rice neatly in the cupboard. The flour goes into a sealed container, so it stays dry and safe. Organizing these items gives me a sense of order. Each cupboard looks neat and ready for cooking. The bread is next. I put one loaf in the bread box for immediate use and freeze the rest for later in the week. This way, it stays fresh and nothing is wasted. Fresh bread is always special, but keeping it properly is important. I also organize the snacks and extras. Biscuits go on the middle shelf where they are easy to reach for tea time. The small pack of coffee sits next to the sugar jar. Everything has a place, and placing them correctly saves time later. As I finish unpacking, I look at the empty bags. I fold the reusable bags and store them neatly in a drawer, ready for the next shopping trip. This habit keeps the kitchen tidy and prevents clutter. Once everything is organized, I check the receipt. I read through each item and compare it with my list. Bread, milk, eggs, apples, pasta, sugar, tea, carrots, potatoes, onions, everything is there. This small act gives me satisfaction. It confirms that preparation, shopping, and carrying all worked together. Now, with the food in its place, I take a moment to reflect. Grocery shopping is not only about buying items, it is about planning, organizing, and caring for life. Every apple on the table, every bag of rice in the cupboard, every carton of milk in the fridge represents health, energy, and meals that will bring the family together. I imagine the coming days: breakfast with fresh bread and butter, lunch with pasta and vegetables, dinner with warm soup. The groceries are not just products, they are future memories, shared meals, and moments of connection. After reflection, I wash my hands, prepare a cup of tea, and sit down to rest. The shopping trip is complete, but the lessons remain. Preparation saves time, discipline keeps focus, kindness creates warmth, and organization brings peace. Grocery shopping is a simple task, yet it teaches patience, responsibility, and care for ourselves and others. And so, dear friends, We have reached the end of our 4-episode journey into the world of grocery shopping. In episode 1, we began with preparation at home, checking the fridge and cupboards, making a list, planning meals, and organizing bags and money. In episode 2, we walked together through the supermarket, choosing fruits, vegetables, dairy, bread, dry goods, and more. In episode 3, we experienced the process of paying, packing, and carrying the groceries home with patience and care. Finally, in episode 4, we unpacked the bags, organized the kitchen, and reflected on the meaning of shopping in daily life. This journey shows that even ordinary tasks, like grocery shopping, can teach discipline, awareness, and gratitude. They are not just chores, they are lessons in living thoughtfully and caring for ourselves and those we love. Thank you for joining me through this complete story. Step by step, word by word, we practiced English together while exploring the beauty of a simple daily activity. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay positive, and keep learning with calmness, patience, and joy.